Hello, Scrappy friends. We're going to jump right into my next national park layout that I'm doing for my daughter's national park album. So as you can see, I already have my photos picked out for today. This is the next page in the album, which is a continuation of the Yosemite trip I started in the last video, but this is actually going to focus just on the Half Dome hike that she did. So with all the photos I have today, except for these two over here, for these photos here, I want to keep them as full size as possible. I don't want to cut off a lot of the background because it kind of shows the progression of the hike up Half Dome. So here she's climbing up, here she's at the top, and then here she's coming back down, which apparently is just as hard as going up. And then these are just some candid photos at the top and along the way. So I want to try and keep them as full size as possible, trimming it very slightly to keep all the beautiful background and the rugged terrain so that when she looks back at this, she can experience that climb again. Now these two photos, now she picked out all the photos that she wanted for this trip, and she really wanted these two in here as well. Basically, this is our family and friends that kind of started out the day with them. We walked them over to the trailhead. We continued on a shorter hike, and then they took off for their Half Dome hike. But she wanted this. This is like her morale group, so she wanted to make sure that they were in here. So these I will be cutting down and hopefully putting off to the side over here. For my papers for today, I pulled from my kit. And I should mention, I had to reorganize my kit after that last video because I felt like everything was messy. And I kind of put all the papers together, all the embellishments together instead of having such a hodgepodge. And it really has helped me. I jumped right in and picked out a few papers for today. So I like this plaid piece. It came from the Set Up Camp collection. I like it because it's a little more feminine than normal plaid. And this layout is about her. And also, she's wearing the perfect shirt. She's wearing like a tie-dye shirt here. So I thought this is a perfect time to use this. I don't think I've used this in any other album. So I think that's going to be a fun little splash of color. And I'm thinking to line these photos up. And I'm not going to use this whole piece, but I do want to have just a strip running over here, maybe something even a little more narrow. Then I brought in this leftover tree paper. There's a lot of trees, as you can see, in Yosemite, so I thought that's perfect. These are running vertically, so I'm thinking it's a perfect spot right over here to have that paper here. And then these two pieces, unfortunately, they're cut, but they're going horizontally. I'll just put this paper right down over here under those. I will adhere them so it looks like it was a full sheet, and hopefully the seam will not show too much. I'll probably bring a strip of the plaid over to this side again, probably just here at the top, just to bring it in. In fact, I'm looking at this. I think what I want to do is scoot all this over and have the plaid more on the outside here, and then the strip of trees, and then cut it. And these will be on white. I'll trim them down ever so slightly so just a little bit of white is showing behind each photo. And then over here, same thing. I'm going to trim off like 1/8 of an inch off of one side, so like a long side and then a short side of each photo so that I can expose just a little bit of the white paper behind there, and it will look like they're matted onto a piece of white. So that's my first step. That's my plan with my paper and my photos. I'll come back and I'll crop these down. In fact, let me grab my templates and decide how big I can make those. I would actually prefer them to be a little on the smaller side. They were kind of spread out in a group. So I'm bringing in my clear little homemade templates to see. And a 4x5 is great because we can capture everybody. But let me see if I could go a little smaller. Here's a 3x5. 3x5 is pretty nice too. We would have to cut off some of our feet. That might be okay, but the rest looks really nice. Let me try one more. Here's a 3.5x5. Yep, it's gonna be perfect. I can get everybody's head in the background and even their feet. So I'll go with a 3.5x5. Let's check this one. Oh yeah, this one is perfect as well. We can get everybody in, and the sign, which is very important because you have to go up to Mist Trail first before you can continue on up to Half Dome. So there we go. I'll use the 3.5 by 5 on both those. That's perfect. I'll get those trimmed down. I'll get everything else trimmed down, and I'll be right back. Here's where I'm at. I have all my photos here adhered down, the paper's in place the way I wanted, and these two are cropped. I just have not adhered them quite yet because I want to come back in now with a border cartridge and cover up the seam right here, okay, on each side. And for that, I'm going to bring in the square link because this one, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of the cables that they're using to pull themselves up to the top. So I'm going to do 2 rows of this, and I think I'm going to bring in some hot cocoa brown. Punch out 1 row for each side. And then my idea is to bring one right over here and the other one right over here. I just think that really helps to bring the layout kind of all together. Okay, so next we're going to talk about titling and journaling. For my journaling spot, I had this journaling card in my kit. It had 2 of them. I just trimmed it down. I'm going to come over here where I had that seam. I did end up putting some wet glue right there, and I got really quick and lazy and smudged it, and I don't really like how it looks, so I'm going to bring this in right here and kind of cover up that little seam. It's not really that noticeable, but I know it's there, so I'm going to scoot it over like this, and it gives me a nice area right here for embellishing. And then for my title, I went ahead and already pulled out the letters from the navy mini classic letters, and I'm going to say It's the Climb. So this is a take on the Miley Cyrus song at The Climb, back when she was Hannah Montana. So I think it's more of the era. But anyway, it's a great song. If you haven't heard it, you should go check it out. It's actually called The Climb, but in the song they say It's the Climb. So I thought, I love that. It's kind of motivational too, to show it's all about her, you know, prepping for this and conquering one of her goals. So I love that. So It's the Climb. And then I cut out a little oval from my die cut machine that has some rough edges around it. And I thought that'd be perfect. Kind of looks like Half Dome a little bit. Not really, but gets the point across. And I'm going to put those letters on there, half on, half off, overlapping into the green area. I'm going to do a little embellishing here and a little bit here. But I also think I'm going to bring in another die cut I made on my die cut machine. And this is just from a metal die, and I'm going to stick it underneath these photos. I like that. I want to come up right here in the center of those 4 photos right there. And I'm going to bring in the scalloped square. I love this punch to do a little bit of an embellishment base. Just going to punch out one. I already have it set to be just the square. There we go. I used the hot cocoa brown like I did on the border punch out, and I think it's going to go right in like that. So that way I have a little bit of a place to put some embellishments. Because I'm using the full-size photos, I am not having much room left for embellishing, but that's okay. It's all about my photos, and I want those to shine, so I'm just going to sneak in some embellishments here and there. Another punch that I want to bring in is my square punch. I'm going to punch out 2 of these. And then I'm going to cut them right in half. So I'm only going to use 3 of them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come right over here to the edge of each of these photos and do like this. So it's pointing right toward her. And I'm going to come back through with some little inspirational words. And I have done this before on a different layout, and I thought how appropriate it would be to have it on this one as well. So I'm kind of scrap lifting myself here. Some embellishments I've kind of pulled aside. I love this tree. I need to go, after I'm done with this video, and punch out a few more trees and just put them in my kit. So I'm going to come over here and kind of put it on the side of the journaling box. I have my trail sign punch I can bring in, but I had this in there, so I thought I would try it out. It's a little big. Yeah, I'm not going to use it, but I do have another sign here. It says the scenic route. Just there we go. That actually came off of this, which I believe might have come from either Happy Camper or Set Up Camp. I also like this one, the boots and the map. It's going to be too big for that area. I was kind of hoping that would be a great place. Maybe up here. Let's see. Yeah, that's actually really cute. We'll tuck it underneath part of our title. And the little compass is really cute. We'll put that maybe up here for now. We'll probably move it around a little bit as we change things and add things. So I have some stickers I brought in. I do really like the little raccoon. These are old vintage CM hiking stickers. I love it. I'm probably hopefully gonna bring those in on another layout, just not today. Bring in this little raccoon somewhere down there. I'm liking that. I love this one that says adventure, and this is the right layout because it's going to match my plaid there because it has all those multicolors in there. So I'll go ahead and use that. And I think I'm going to place it right off over here. Let's see. Oh, I love this little raccoon too. We might bring him in. I love the flowers. So we might have to come back and put the flowers, but for now we'll put the little raccoon's head right there. That's cute. Let's look at some leaves. I'm going to grab my leaf box here and kind of go through and see what we have in here as far as some leaves that we can use. Here's a dark leaf. Let's see. Let's change this to maybe a little bit brighter one. Put the compass over those flowers. There we go. Yeah, that's kind of cute. Oh, this one's nice. Let's bring that one up here. See if we have something that will go right over here. How about this one that we knocked? We moved from up there. Up, too dark. Too dark. We could always come back, change this one, move this one right over here, and I'll have to tuck it in. Yep, I'm just looking for some greenery to represent the outdoors here. And I think that's it. I have the tree here, and I have a leaf in every one. I think it's looking really good. I love it. I'm going to just pause here for a moment and go and get everything adhered down and then come back in with a couple finishing touches and the words for my encouragement going down the side over here. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. But while I'm away, I'd like to ask you to please take this opportunity to click that like button. You guys are so great at doing this for me. I truly appreciate each and every time that you click the like button. It does help to really spread my content through YouTube. And also leave me a comment. I would love to hear about your national park adventures as well. Okay, so thank you, and I'll be right back. Everything is adhered down like we just talked about, and I'm ready to bring in some finishing touches. So while I was away, I found these cute mountains. I think they're super cute, and I just want to use a little piece of it, and I'm thinking right over here. I think I'm going to cut 3 of them. So 1, 2, 3. And I think I'm going to put it at a little bit of an angle here. Make it look like it was meant to be like that. And then put it right here. I like that. Brings in that feel of the mountains. And then let me grab the enamel pieces. I have the 3 flowers here, and I just thought it would be something different to bring in a little bit of the color from the plaid. And I have, this is the biggest one. It's yellow. And I'm just trying to find the right place for it. Yeah, maybe like that. I already have some other yellow there. These, I wanted this little orange one, I think would be perfect right down here. And then maybe the pink one up here. Like that. They're not too obvious. It just adds a little bit of color. And let me see if I can get some more of these. This one's kind of cute. Just to add to my cluster here. And maybe the little dot. Yeah, just something different. The flamingo I'm going to cut out right now and put it in with my tropical stuff. So I know I won't ever use that on any kind of camping or national park. So maybe so, but right now I'm going to put that one away. I wanted to come back in here and look at this sheet one more time because I saw these arrows and I thought, how would these look? I'm going to take off the sticky so I could play with it a little bit more. And then put it right here is what I'm thinking. And I have 3 of them and I can bring them in on each of those. And then find the little word sticker that I want to use. So I brought this book in before. It has white and black little words. I think I'm going to go with white. And I saw a few of things that, like this one. Imagine, inspire. I like both of those. So I'm kind of thinking like this. Yeah, I like that. Let's do a couple more. Like I said, we have the orange one and a pink one. It's a little bit different. The pink one's a little bigger, but that's okay. Let's see, it was inspire. And we'll do like this. I'll come back through. I have just enough room. I can trim that off just a little bit. This page, this kind of irks me about this book. It was printed wrong. And before I realized I couldn't return it any longer. So I don't use white that often because of this. How about smile? Like I said, it's not printed nice. I'm going to clean that up a little bit and it'll go like that. In fact, what I should do is move the inspired one down here. Inspire, because my arrow's smaller, and then move the smaller word up here so they look a little bit more proportionate. And there we go. Page number 2 in my National Park book is done. I have a lot more to go, so I hope that you come back and join me as I create this book for my daughter and all her National Park adventures. Okay, and if you want to look for the first video I did, I'll post it right up here, as well as another video that you may be interested in. But until next time, take care everybody, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.